May I request Mr. Govind Sarup to give the welcome address to Her Holiness Shri Mataji.
We are really blessed to have Shri Mataji today amongst us. And it is needless to mention that in whichever discipline we are working, stress is becoming one of the major factors in day-to-day life. And we will hear from Mataji today the ways and means of handling it, and we will get the benefit of her spiritual authority.
It's a great honor for me to be allowed this opportunity to say a few words to you about my own experience of Sahaja Yoga. I saw someone coming to her for vibrations and for transformation, and sitting opposite. And people who were addicted to drugs till yesterday found that they did not have the urge to ask for drugs. People who were alcoholics, she never asked anyone to give up anything. She says, it's your life, but you don't give up drugs. Drugs get away from you. You don't give up alcohol. Alcohol goes away from you. You become a different person. Now, to some of the audience, I might perhaps refer to what I always do when I speak, the case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know that Mr. Hyde seems to disappear from you and you become a total Dr. Jekyll. So I've seen many of that kind, a few in the beginning, and later on quite a number, and now of course there are thousands and thousands and thousands all over the world, in 80 countries. I have traveled with her to not all of them, but some of them, and it's amazing to see how they are becoming a sort of a new class of human beings, motivated by nothing except what is ethical, what is right. They don't bother about themselves, they bother about others. All the time wanting to do something good, something right. And I must say, she never, I mentioned to her, she never says, give up this thing. She says, on the contrary, educate yourself, take a job, but do the job well. And wherever they are, they make a difference. So that is what Sahaja Yoga is doing. Now, how has it affected me? In the beginning, I was a very anxious person. Always wanting to be 5 minutes ahead of time or on time. If I'm slightly delayed, I'm a little jittery. You know how official life is. A lot of tensions. If you're in the United Nations, I'm dealing with 150 governments. And if you have to deal with the United States of America and Russia and China and what have you, it does mean a lot of strain or stress. But I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, after this experience of mine, I became a different person. And mind you, it was not as if I became careless, not at all. I was always punctual to the minute, but not with strain, not with stress. I did not feel as if I was under any great tension anywhere. You do your job and do your job as best as you can. And things turned out extremely well. So this is the message that I wanted to give my friends and colleagues. It is a matter of your wanting to achieve that much of transformation. If you are earnest about it, if you are sincere about it, as I was, I think it's possible to achieve that transformation, and nothing helps in fighting tension better than being transformed in this fashion. I have told you she doesn't want anyone to give up anything, but I want to do something more. She herself doesn't give up anything. She is a great spiritual leader, but she is also a very great wife, and a very great mother, and a very great grandmother, and now a very great great-grandmother, with 4 generations now.
So we have a center here on the crossing of the optic duct. This center is very important because we react with this. We react to everything. By this reaction, we create a problem within ourselves. And this reaction comes to us because we do not know how to go beyond the mind. Every time we are looking at something, we react. We look at someone, we react. But we cannot just watch. We cannot be just the witness. If we could be the witness, it will not have any effect on us. But we cannot be. That's the trouble when this center is very active. We call it as Agya Chakra, where the two optic nerves meet. At the crossing point, this center is placed. Even Jung has said that you have to go beyond your thoughts, and that you have to become thoughtlessly aware. Even in our Shastras it is written that you have to have Nirvichar Samadhi, means without thought, and the another is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now even Einstein has said that you have to go beyond the mind to reach the torsion area, he calls. When he was searching for his theory of relativity, he found it was difficult. He couldn't find it. He got very tired. He went into his garden and was playing with soap bubbles like a child. Then he says, suddenly from somewhere else, it dawned upon me this theory of relativity. He calls it openly as a torsion area. And this torsion area we have to touch instead of ourselves thinking all the time and react. Because as a result of that, what happens, we should see. What happens is that our movement on the autonomous nervous system goes to the right side. The right side is very good, otherwise a person looks very impressive, he can oppress other, he can be aggressive, he can be very systematic, all these things can be there. But it has a reaction. The reaction is horrible because this right side affects our liver to begin with. Now the liver is called liver because we live because of liver only. That's why it's called liver. This liver gets affected and there is no actually treatment, we should say, in the medical science for liver. They can replace it with a pig's liver or some liver like that. But otherwise, there is no way out. But we are the ones, we are spoiling this liver ourselves by creating tremendous heat in the liver. This special liver has got a capacity to absorb heat and release it into the bloodstream. And then, you see, it gets relieved of it. But when it is too much, when the liver is too much full of heat, then it cannot give up that heat. Then this heat start traveling upward. It can go to the right lung. It can go to the heart. Now imagine right lung means asthma. Simple thing is asthma. Then it goes to the heart. When there's a young boy, say of 21 years or so, up to that age, he starts playing cricket, tennis, and drinks a lot. Then he gets a massive heart attack. It's fatal, he cannot live. Then it affects, as I told you, other organs also. This heat goes to the pancreas, causing diabetes of a very serious nature, not of a mild nature, but a very serious nature. Then this heat passes down to the spleen. In the spleen, it gives you blood cancer. This is all possible for all right-sided people, I'm telling you. That's why I was worried that people who are, according to me, are the spine of our country. They are the spine of our country. they should not get out of life because of too much of strain and stress on their mind. Now then it goes to the kidneys. It coagulates the kidneys and you get kidney trouble, or you cannot pass urine and you have all the troubles there. Apart from that, it goes to the lower intestines and you get terrible constipations and all the problems of the constipation. Then also to the heart. At a later age, it comes. It goes on affecting, ultimately, your heart fails. Very early in age, I know of recently 2 people died of heart trouble who were at a very good position. This is very much worrying me, that how to bring them to close to themselves, to know themselves what the problem is and how to solve that problem. With this we understand that we react, by reaction we create such a heat within us. Apart from this, the other psychosomatic diseases, this is I'm telling about somatic, but the psycho disease which comes from your psychological problems come from the left side. Of course, I'll not deal with that now. But somehow, if you can move from right to the left, you are sure to get some psychosomatic trouble which cannot be cured by medical science, like cancer, AIDS, all kinds of this. So you are just preparing your body for them. In these modern times, the life is so full of struggle, speed. Now we were coming and there was a jam. Now you can't help it. I was very silently watching now this, the jam. I have to reach late, doesn't matter. My husband normally would have been really in great trouble. He would have looked at the watch all the time, would have been, wow, where are we, what are we doing, this and that. But he was so silently watching the whole thing, I was amazed. Because normally he would be jittery that we are getting so late for a function like